Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another iTOOsday. Can you believe we're already into August? My name is Ryan van der Koolwijk, and it's really great to welcome you to the session today. One which I hope will make your lives a bit easier going forward. So, personally, I'm a very big fan of and proponent of trying to simplify and streamline things. I think we're also dealing with a client base that has started to change over the years, where a lot of people, in particular, small entrepreneurs and small businesses, are looking to transact quickly at strange times of day, all the rest of it. These sort of developments have given rise to iTOO building digital products for these customers, which we believe make it a lot easier to transact for yourselves and your clients at any time of day, getting quotes in a few quick clicks of a button, and really being able to then transact and get those policies live, be it a Saturday, a Sunday, in a matter of 2-3 minutes. We've built a few products like that over the years and got some really good success out of it. We've got some big stars like our classic car product. We've had some big successes in art, hole-in-one, a few on the cyber side, and we've just added more and more products as we've seen the demand for these things ramp up. What we have seen with that, though, is you had different tokens and URLs for all of these different products in the past, which I think made it quite unwieldy and difficult to keep track on which one do I send where. So the big evolution we'll talk about today is a single URL or a single platform from which you can then access all of these products. And some of these products have also had a nice little nip and a tuck to make them more interesting and more exciting. Before I hand over to Meredith, who will take you through the changes and show you what it looks like, I'm just going to ask if you can please scan this QR code just to sign in and make sure that you can get your CPD points. It's always nice to get those in the bag early on in the year so that you've got them for when we have to wrap up the cycle next year. With that, and without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Meredith. We are available on the Q&A and on the chat, so do feel free to pose comments, ask questions. We're here to help. And Meredith, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and I'm Meredith, and I have the pleasure and sometimes the chaos of running digital projects at iTOO. Some of you might think I'm a little mad. You won't be entirely wrong, but innovation and change genuinely make me happy. I love a 100-mile gravel race, and digital transformation is my other endurance sport of choice. Today, we are diving into something that might sound deceptively simple, a single URL. But don't be fooled, this little link packs more punch than a double espresso at the 80-mile mark. So clip in, because we're about to shift gears, making the complex simple, the scattered streamlined, and maybe even enjoying a few laughs along the ride. I'm excited to share a major leap forward in our digital journey, one that's about to make your life easier. So let's start off. So why do we streamline? Why a single URL? We want to simplify your access to our digital products so that you go to one place where you can access the link. The previous ones worked, but it wasn't exactly seamless. So in a fast-paced digital world, we want to declutter, and DigiEase cuts through the noise. So why now? We've listened to your feedback, and we've aligned with our digital transformation strategy, and we're making it easier to do business with iTOO. What is the benefits? So centralized access. So no more hunting around for links. You have one single digital link from iTOO. Effortless quoting, quicker quoting, fewer clicks, less admin. All the referral logic stays intact. The process, as you know it, don't change. Real-time client engagement. Better premiums in some cases. Some products now come with sharper results. And no disruption. The legacy URLs remain active during the transition. We have a full grace period until January 2026. So we're going to ease you in. So from August to October, there will be full access to both old and new links. From November to December, we will gradually migrate you over. And by January 2026, we hope that all brokers have started using their new link. There is no administrative process around this, but I'll get into that towards the end of the presentation today. So in the spirit of women who ride hard, lead fearlessly, and don't wait for permission to shift gears, I'm going to demonstrate the single URL using Trisha's link. Trish has been a staunch supporter of our digital platform at iTOO. She runs a one-woman show brokerage in KZN. Think of her as the gravel racing equivalent of a digital ninja. She loves the digital platform because, in her words, I never have to talk to you guys. Don't worry, she says it with a lot of love. What she really means is she's in control. She manages her turnaround times on quotes, no back and forth, no waiting. It's like magic. Only it's not. It's just simple tech doing what it's supposed to do. So from this presentation, you can see Trish has 6 links currently. So she has to save each of them in her favorites. What will happen now is she will only have a single link going forward. And that is the magic of the single link. So next up, let's dive into the single link and we'll show you what it looks like. I hope everybody can see my screen still. So this is our digital platform, and I'm sure you can see that it's had a bit of a glow up. And that the vibe on it has definitely shifted. It looks a little bit more like iTOO, and we've simplified the menu items. We've got an about, we've got all the products that are on offer with their pages, and then obviously we've got buy insurance. On the about page, we list all the products for you. So you will notice Sure Thing, broad form liability, professional indemnity, cyber SME, personal cyber, art collectibles, art in transit, classic car, event liability, and hole in one. So I'm sure you realize we've added more products. So let's talk a little bit about these products on the single link. So art collectibles, for example, and all the other products look exactly the same. They have a clean image. They've got a little bit of a summary. You can click on the buy insurance button. It will take you to this product's buy insurance page. And the learn more button will download a product card with all the information. We are intentionally trying to avoid the overload feeling. No jargon, no 10-page PDFs, just need to know, neatly packaged. Because let's be honest, no one has ever said, I wish this insurance page had more text. Then first up, our flagship product, Sure Thing. This one is in a league of its own. No competition, no comparison, just pure unfiltered protection for SMEs. Sure Thing covers almost any third-party liability claim. And there is the kicker. Legal fees aren't sublimited. That means even if a claim hasn't materialized yet, but there is an approach or a legal letter, we've got your back. Legal costs are covered up to the full indemnity limit. It's proactive protection, not just reactive cover. And the cherry on top, it gives brokers peace of mind and protects your PI. So you can sleep at night knowing your clients are covered, and so are you. Then to something a little bit more expressive, the arts. Now, we all know that Gen Zs can be a little bit, how can we say it, allergic to brokers. Some are even allergic to talking to people altogether. And honestly, who can blame them? If you can order your groceries, your sneakers, and your next piece of wall-worthy art online, why not your insurance too? That's where our art collectibles digital product comes in. It's tailor-made for the modern-day hermit with a taste for fine things and a low tolerance for phone calls. With galleries now flaunting their collections online, it only makes sense that insurance to protect those pieces is just a few clicks away. No awkward small talk, no waiting on hold, just artfully simple cover delivered digitally. But we also cover your art in transit. So you're scanning the art collectibles policy schedule as you do with the precision of a forensic analyst. You spot the ID number and you think, aha, Miss Gen Z. So you shoot off a quick email or WhatsApp. Hey, did you buy that artwork online? She did. Of course she did. That's your cue to shine, and you let her know that you offer a separate art in transit policy. Perfect for protecting her next piece while it's en route home. It's not embedded in her current cover, but it's an ideal add-on for her next online art splurge. And because you're a legend, you've already dropped the link in her WhatsApp or email, ready when she is. Suddenly, you're not just a broker. You're a digital age hero protecting masterpieces and peace of mind one click at a time. Next up, broad form liability. Same solid cover, same trusted product, but now with a digital twist. The only real difference, you no longer need to complete a proposal form. That's right. No more PDFs, no more attachments, no more chasing signatures. And here's the cherry on top. We've improved the premiums too. That's right. Going digital doesn't just save you time, it saves you money, lower premiums, faster turnarounds, and the same rock solid protection. You're in control of the turnaround times, and Susie, yes, the Susie and her super team can now focus their energy on underwriting those big, complex corporate risks you throw their way. It's SME cover made easy, and now even easier and more affordable, thanks to digital. And while we are talking about products that meet people where they are, so many brokers tell me during digital presentations, we don't have classic car collectors. But here's the truth. Gen Z is entering the market, and they're not just insuring their phones and their sneakers. They're insuring memories. That 20-plus-year-old Land Rover they inherited from dad, it's not just a car, it's a time machine. It smells like childhood holidays, sounds like road trip playlist, and drives like freedom. And they're never selling it. And it's not just the Land Rovers. It could be a Beetle, a Mini, a BMW, a Datsun Bakkie. Yes, remember those. Or even a Ford Escort, the one with the tape deck and the personality. These aren't just vehicles. They're stories on wheels. And now they can be insured digitally with a product that understands sentiment, value, and the joy of keeping the past alive. Next up, and a nice surprise for the brokers. Cyber SME. The artist formerly known as Cyber i2Go. Yes, you can still get Cyber i2Go, but it comes with a proposal form and you guessed it, higher premiums. Enter Cyber SME, the sleeker, sassier twin. She's got lower premiums, 15% lower to be exact, instant quotes and zero paperwork drama. Just click, quote, and go. It is cyber cover made for the fast lane because in today's world, if it's not digital, it's basically dial-up. And then on to some entertainment news. Event liability. You can now get all your once-off event liability quotes on digital. No more second-guessing product names or wondering which form to use. That's why we've rebranded from Ease Event to the much clearer event liability. No more trying to remember, is this an Ease Event policy? Is this the one I buy digitally, or do I need a proposal form? Now it's simple. It's once-off event liability, and you can buy it online. Our hole-in-one product has had a glow up for some time now. So yes, it's fully digital. Whether it's a one-day tournament or a multi-day golf extravaganza, you can quote and issue your policies directly on the platform. In some cases, your requests might trigger a referral, but please don't panic. A referral is not a decline. It just means our entertaining events team wants to take a quick look, check the risk appetite, and make sure everything is in bounds. If they are happy, they can overturn the referral with a single click. Easy and efficient, and still worthy of a slow clap on the 18th green. Last, but definitely not least, professional indemnity. Our PI InstaQuote has officially gone digital. That means you can now quote and buy cover for most professions directly on the platform. No proposal forms, no delays, just click, click, buy simplicity. Now, before you get too excited, there are a few exceptions. The built environment, technology, and telecommunications still require the traditional route. Why? Because they're the tricky ones, the ones that need a little bit more love and a little bit more nuance. And that's where FISO and a fabulous team comes in. With the easy stuff handled digitally, they've got more time to focus on the complex cases, giving you the expert support you need when you need it the most. So go ahead, quote the easy ones online and let the PI pros handle the rest. And now for the plot twist. Some of you might be wondering, but where is personal cyber? Where's my solution? How could you forget about Candace? Relax, we would never forget about Candace. We love Candace. But here's the thing. Candace's product plays by their own rules. They're like a little bit like Lesotho, own government, own laws, own vibe. There are no quotes, no proposal forms, just straight through processing. Fast, clean, and efficient. So yes, technically, it's not one link to rule them all, but no, I didn't lie. You can access her products from here. Let me show you how. By simply clicking on the personal cyber learn more button, it will take you into the My Solution digital platform. Okay, so now it is demo time. And I have pre-recorded the processes because let's be honest, test environments are as temperamental as a cat on a Zoom call. 1 minute they're purring, the next minute they've crashed mid-demo. So to spare us all the suspense, I've captured everything ahead of time. Smooth, seamless, and drama-free. For this demo, I'll be using SureThing to walk you through the process. Just a heads up. Aside from the underwriting questions, the steps are exactly the same across all our products. So once you've seen one, you've seen them all. But first, I have to say, I was genuinely surprised to discover over the past 2 weeks that there are still brokers who haven't heard of SureThing. It's been in the market for over 3 years. My heart goes out to those SMEs who aren't covered yet. They're missing out on essential protection. But let's not dwell on tragedy. Let's dive into the demo and see what the SMEs have been missing. Just play here. So basically, all our products can be accessed by clicking on the Buy Insurance button. So these videos will also be available via online. We will send the links in the emails where we onboard you. So click on Buy Insurance, and you will notice that all the products are listed here, each with their own Get Cover Now button. So we are going to scroll down and click on SureThing's Get Cover Now button. The products always start with the underwriting questions, irrespective of the product. And these are basically the only elements that change from product to product is the first set of questions you have to complete related to the product. So in this instance, I've completed all the questions, and now it presents me with the different product options. So in SureThing's case, we've got SureThing, SureThing Lite, and SureThing Max. With PI and cyber, SME, and broad form liability, they've got between 4 to 6 different options that you can select from. Now we're going to complete the customer details. And we have two customer types, but they're not available on every single product. So we have company, which is your NPO, your PBO, your trust, your registered Pty limited, or your CC. And we have individual, which is for sole proprietors. This is the page where you generate the email to send the quote to the client. So you can copy this quote number and you can paste it somewhere in a record that you have, but you will also receive an email from the platform. A copy goes to the SME owner, a copy goes to the brokerage's generic email address, and a copy goes to your email address that is associated with your token. You will notice that we've made some changes with regard to the email notification. It now has the policy number and the company name in the subject line, as well as the document is appended with the policy number to make it easy for you to save. Next is the binding process. This one is now gone and replaying the same video. This is the binding process. My apologies. So what is happening? The client has decided they want to accept this quote, and all they have to do is they have to click on the link in the email. My apologies about this link, but we run Mindcast at iTOO. I shouldn't apologize for that. It's a good thing. But that's why this link appears so strange in the email that I receive in my work inbox. The client enters his OTP. The OTP is sent to that number that is displayed up there. And that is why it's very important that when the contact details are captured, that no landlines are captured. So it always gives a pop-up to show you that the OTP has been verified successfully, and it takes you through all the underwriting questions. So if the client, so the process is designed that the broker quotes and the client binds, because then it gives the client the opportunity during the binding process just to check that addresses or surnames or names aren't spelled incorrectly. You can choose between a monthly and an annual option. We offer debit order on monthly, and on annual you can pay either via card or you can make an EFT payment. So you can see there is the card and the invoice payment. This is monthly, so we're selecting monthly because this is the most popular use case. It's rare that people use the annual card option. The annual invoice option is used more often, and it's used more with our hole-in-one, our event liability, and our art in transit products. So again, you can see you've received all the documentation for this policy, and again we've appended it with the policy number, as well as the subject line now contains more information. Then last but not least, the referral process. That is when you answered one of the questions and it triggers a referral. In this example, I'm going to say that there has been claims for the in the past 5 years, and then a referral is triggered. But every product has its own referral rules, and you can consult the product owners for those referral rules. Again, it displays all the product options to you. And as you select it, there is a pop-up in our test environment. It's not yet available in our production environment. We're still working on it. It's not working exactly the way we want it to work yet. Complete all the details, and you can see here I've answered no to claims. And again, there's a pop-up. And you will notice that there's no green email button here. This means a referral has been triggered, and you need to click on next and complete the process so that you can receive an email with your referral information document, and that the underwriters can pick up the referral and make contact with you. So you can see that it says that this is your reference number, and then once our underwriter reviews your policy, one of our brokers will then be in contact with you. And here is the email that is received, and it comes with a document that explains what has been referred. This referral document is mostly used by our underwriters because they can quickly open it up, scan it, and know exactly what has triggered the referral, and they can make contact with the broker. If a referral is overturned, we print the referral overturn reason in the referral approved email. There's again a link that the client clicks on, and that takes them back into the platform. Again, they need to enter an OTP. It displays them the option that they've selected, and they tick all the declarations, they submit, complete their banking details, and the policy is bound. So the big difference between the referral and the norm, binding a policy from a referral versus binding a policy from a quote request, is that we do not allow you to change the information during the referral process, because we keep a record of it and we put a reason in the system why the referral was overturned. And that's the demo for today. Any questions? Are there any questions from the audience on the single URL? So the links to the recordings along with your single URL will be emailed to you. And for those of you who haven't signed up to digital yet, don't worry, there's still time to join the party. Just reach out to me directly. The marketing team will kindly drop my email address in the chat. And that's a wrap for today. The Queen stage is complete, perfectly timed with the past week's La Tour de France avec Femme. And one more time, are there any questions?
Well, no. We have a question from Patrick. He's asking, how would you know if the client has paid?
How would we know if the client has paid? Yes. So if it's on debit order, it is run by our internal system that collects all our other debit order collections. So it works exactly the same. If there's an unpaid, then credit control will send you an email that says this debit order has failed to collect, and it will always attempt to double debit and only cancel after the second debit order has failed. If you pay on card, so you like you do on Takealot or any of these other similar payment platforms, our payment gateway works exactly the same. You put in your card details and it takes the annual premium off your card. That sends a notification to quite a number of us, and that gets forwarded on to our credit control division that then allocates the payment. If you've paid on invoice, the payment goes into, the transaction is in a payment pending status until we've received the proof of payment. So in other words, once we receive your proof of payment, we will activate that policy on the digital platform, and you will receive a policy schedule and a notification that the policy has been issued, and that policy will then be allocated by our credit control team.
We also have some questions from Lauren. She's asking, how would renewals work? And then second question, when the client receives an email to buy or confirm cover, is the signature on that email iTOOs or the broker's? And then last question, does the client as well as the broker receive the initial referral email or just the broker?
Okay, so the notifications on the digital platform works as follows. For whether it's a quote request, a policy that's been issued, a referral that's been approved or even declined, a notification is sent out. We send a notification to the SME owner in this instance, in the context of sure thing, and we send it to the brokerage. So a lot of brokerages have like an info @ or an underwriting @ or an admin email that is also configured for as a backup. And then the token belongs to a named person. So if we go back to the presentation, and I'll show you with Trisha's URL. So in this example, Trish is a one-woman show. So it's only her in the organization. So this token, this MRBFS-1, in the system, it is set up to send any policies that is sold using this identifier goes to Trish. So if you've got a brokerage that has many, we've got brokerages that's got up to 35 broker consultants onboarded. So each of them have their own unique link. And if they use their link, then the communication goes to their email. Can you just repeat some of those questions? So that was the one on the notification. And the other question was related to renewals. So at the moment, the digital platform is a new business distribution platform. So if you think about art in transit, hole in one and event liability, they don't renew. So they actually very ideal for this platform. But all the other policies renew in the traditional manner still. We are busy with an initiative to look at that so that we can improve the renewal process for these policies that's been sold digitally. And you'll have to watch the iTOOsday's invites in 2026 for that demonstration. Did I get it all, Cesar?
Yes, you did.
Any more questions?
Okay, we have a question from Patricia. She's asking, what is the process to gain access to the platform? Sorry.
It's as simple as sending an email to me. And if you you can just include your brokerage name and maybe your FSP number, because then I can look up your account code on our internal systems, which makes it easy for me to quickly set you up. And then the second thing is to give me the names, surnames, and email address or and mobile phone number of each of the individual broker consultants who need access to the platform.
Question from Kamohelo. They're asking if mid-policy period the client would like to increase the have to notify the underwriters, or can they just update it on the link? And then also, will the policies that are paid monthly provide monthly cover, and failure to pay would lead to lapsing of the policy?
Okay, so I'll answer the first part. To update the cover or make changes to the policy, an underwriter needs to be contacted. Like I said, this is just a click to buy retail platform for insurance. So you must see it like you've it's left the building, and it's now once it's sold here, it lives on our internal insurance platform, and from there it gets managed and changed and renewed. And then what was the last question? It had two parts. Cesar?
That if the policies are paid monthly, hold on, let me just reread the question. Will the policies that are paid monthly provide monthly cover, and failure to pay would lead to lapsing of the policy?
Yes. So it's an annual paid monthly. So it's an annual policy, but you pay it. We collect the debit orders on a monthly basis. So if you take the Sure Thing example and your client has bought Sure Thing Light, we will debit their account with 450 Rand every month. If they fail to pay, let's say in month 3, or we fail to collect, we will notify you and you can contact the client. If it fails to collect twice in a row, like with all our other policies, the policy will be cancelled or lapsed. Does that answer the question?
Okay, then another question. What will be the process if banking details change?
It's the same as with any other changes you make to current business with iTOO. You will notify us of a change in banking details, and we will make that change in banking details.
Okay, and then another question from an anonymous user. They're asking, how would you know you're using your personalized broker link?
So that's a strange question, but let me try and interpret it. So when I return the links on email, say for example, Orange Brokers wants to sign up today. They'll send me an email and they'll put the names, surnames, phone numbers, and email addresses of the 5 broker consultants in the email. I will set the Orange Brokers up plus all those broker consultants, reply to that email, and send each of them their own link. That link is then usually by that consultant saved in their favorites. And that's basically how the process works.
Okay, last question. Anonymous is also asking, what support would you need from them to fully switch to DigiEase before the January cutoff?
So the reason we're giving this long period to transition is brokers are busy, and they might have saved all the old links. So it's basically just giving them time and sending out reminders, because once the single link is live, it is live for everybody. So even if you, for example, have a sure thing token, all you have to do is remove sure thing from the name, sure thing dot, and just leave your token at the back. And you will have access to the new URL. So there's no process of me having to literally move you from this URL to that URL. It will happen in the background. So what we will do is we're going to send individual emails out to all the broker consultants who have been onboarded. I think there's about 960 of them currently. In that individualized email, it will say, for example, it's for Vera at Orange Brokers. It will say, dear Vera, here is your single URL. Here are the links to the tutorial videos. Please save something to that effect. And she as Vera will just receive her link from us. And she will then be able to switch from the multiple links to the individualized link. We're just keeping the transition period open so that brokers don't feel under pressure, or if they do go to the old link out of habit, that it is still available, that it doesn't hamper them from processing policies. But I'm hoping the addition of the new products will make the brokers always go to their single URL. Any more questions, Cesar?
Still checking.
Okay.
One last question, but I think Ryan has also responded to it. So Waldo was asking, will this replace the old URLs?
Yes, it will replace the old URLs, because remember, on the old URLs we have only my cyber, cyber SME, hole-in-one, event liability, sure thing, classic car, and art in transit. Now with the new single URL, we've added art collectibles, professional indemnity, and broad form liability, which is the old SMEZ. So it's better to access your single URL, because then you are presented with all 10 products instead of just the ones that each have their own single URL. I hope that makes sense. I'll put I think somebody has asked email address. I'll put my email.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions?
We have one more from Raquel. She's asking that many clients are still old school and prefer that the broker complete the insurance binding process from beginning to end, as they're not keen on having to click on links and complete the binding process. Are brokers able to complete this on the client's behalf with the client's consent?
before we had this version, we've been live with what we call version 2 of our digital platform. The single URL is actually version 3. Before version 2, you could not quote. So that was a critical change that we made in April 2023. And the reason we made that change was to allow brokers the broker starts the process and completes the quote, and then the client, because the broker can assure the client that the email that's come from the platform, that they can click on that link. And we haven't had any real clients who refuse to click on links at all, because the broker does the quoting process, so it's kind of an assisted sale, and that gives the client the comfort that they can click on this link, and then the client clicks on the link and goes and binds the policy. Because remember, the payment declarations, the POPI and etc. has to be selected on that last page, and also it removes the need for the broker to have the client complete a debit order declaration form, because then it's no longer digital. Then you kind of going one step forward and two steps back. But if the client does the binding process, then they can put in their banking details and make sure that it's accurate. So I agree, it is an assisted sale. The brokers, 90% of our brokers complete the quote for their clients. We do have the most successful broker in Cape Town who sold the most sure thing policies. He just sends the links. But bear in mind, he sends the link to onboard themselves and take out the policy themselves after he's consulted with them and explained the product to them. And he's sure they interested in the product. So the fact that that it's an assisted sale doesn't get removed by the digital platform. It will remain an assisted sale, because although these are the easier products in the iTOO stable and the less complex products, it doesn't mean that that you can remove the broker. The broker still has to sell this product to the end customer. I hope that makes sense.
Thanks, Vi. I think that was the last question.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Meredith. I think that was a really insightful session. I've already had my phone blowing up with really positive messages from a number of the brokers. So thank you to all of you for attending. We are here to help. So any questions that you may have on the platform or sort of check-ins you want to do, the team are available, happy to help out and ensure that you can embark with us on this digital journey and get your clients covered. So thank you again to everyone for attending. Vi, thank you so much for a really entertaining and great session. And we hope to chat to you all soon. Have a happy Tuesday further. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye.